Hello and welcome to Long Story Short Q&A. My name is Katie, and today the question that we're going to be exploring is who made God? I am joined by Nelson Schonfeld. So Nelson, what do you think?
Thanks for having me, Katie. Sometimes people will ask, if God created the universe, then who created God? And on the surface, that seems like a reasonable question. But there's actually a big problem with that. And to see that, we have to get a little bit philosophical. So just bear with me for a second. But the problem with asking who created God is that you can't stop there. You then have to ask who created the thing that created God. And then you have to ask who created the thing that created the thing that created God. And you can see the problem. On and on and on this goes, ad infinitum. And this is what philosophers call an infinite regress, something that goes on forever in one direction. But the problem is that it doesn't actually provide any answer in the other direction. It doesn't give us an answer to our question. So at some point, we have to stop asking the who created question. And at that point, at that stopping point, that first cause has to be sufficient for everything else that comes after. The universe, life, everything. Now, the unintelligent universe is not a sufficient cause for all of the complexity that we see in the world. A cause that is sufficient for everything that we see and experience in this world is God. God is the first cause, the uncaused cause, the eternal creator. Now, some might complain, you can't just arbitrarily define God as eternal. That's not our experience. That's illogical. But consider this. 100 years ago, when scientists thought that the universe was not expanding, before they thought that the universe was expanding, they thought that the universe was eternal. At least this is what atheists argued. This is what's called the steady state theory. Now, they don't believe that anymore, but here's my point. If 100 years ago it was considered rational and reasonable and logical to consider that the universe is eternal, then by that same logic, it's completely reasonable and logical to understand that God is eternal. And so God is the uncaused first cause of everything that there is. He's defined as the eternal creator, sufficient for all of the complexity that we see in life, in the universe, everything around us, including us.